That's our discussion segment as Nigeria grapples with fears of increased inflation as a result of rising cost of living. Business Express takes a look at the implications for the economy and the role of banking sector in stemming the tide. Joining us as we explore the state of play and the way forward, a professor of banking, Pius Deji Olanrewaju. He is also the President, Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, and also joining us later in the program is Babatunde Oladipo, chartered accountant and also a chartered banker. He will be sharing insights on the way to go. You're welcome to Business Express. Welcome to the both of you.
Thank you. It's good to be on this program at this point in time.
Okay. Beautiful. Well, the recent hike in PMS prices, hike in transportation and the cost of food items in the market has sparked concerns about inflation. How do you think this will impact Nigeria's economic growth, and what measures can be taken to mitigate the effects? Professor?
The truth of the matter is that we're in a very, very challenging time. Challenging time in the sense that all the macroeconomic indices seems to not to be working for now, and it's not unconnected with some of the hard decisions that the government has to take at this point in time. Because you will bear with me that for quite some times, even at the global level, things has not been going smoothly, and because of that, the government has to take some initiatives. But one thing is that we are believing that some of these initiatives, if we are able to address some two fundamental issues, the issue of corruption, the issues of misuse of funds, misapplication and misappropriation of funds, then we might be able to stabilize the economy and growth will start evolving. But in the meantime, we have to pay a price, because there was a time when this money was flowing very well, when the economy was moving very well. All of a sudden, because of bad management, things nosedive. And that is the price we have to pay. So, and that's exactly what is happening to our fuel, because the issue of fuel cannot be resolved until the day we are able to have our own refinery working. But in as much as we continue to import and we have to pay, additional costs, cost of transportation, cost of delivery, cost of haulage and everything, things are going to be very hard. And you know that the one thing with the fuel price is that it's a major determinant and the price of other services within the ecosystem. So anything that affects that price always have a ripple effect on the other part of the economy. But I believe that with time and with the hope that Dangote refinery will soon come on stream, we believe that maybe that will be able to alleviate the problem and if properly managed.
But would that alleviate or address the problem? That enough? Will it be enough to address the problem?
No, it's not. Like I did mention, the fundamental problem we have in this nation today is that of corruption. We need to nip our corruption we need to do something substantial so that people will not be going away with wastages and misuse of funds. And secondly, there is need to diversify, our foreign exchange sources of funds. Because we can't be depending on the source, and the source is having challenges. If the source is having challenges, it means that your main source of income will be having challenges. But we are of the opinion that if this is diversified and we have some other sources that is helping that major sources, then things will improve. And to worsen the situation, now even the main source of revenue again is having serious problem by things like oil theft, pollutions, and some other things that is happening to that system.
The banking sector plays a crucial role in managing inflation. What strategies can banks employ to support businesses and individuals affected by the price increase?
Our belief in the banking system is that we have always been forthright in this direction, that for every economy to grow, the fact still remains that is based on the fact that how financial intermediation process is taking place. And you will bear with me that banks are the person who are in a position to make sure that there is a nexus, a connection between the deficit unit and the surplus unit. And that we have been done through advocacy. And for example, our conference will be coming up tomorrow in Abuja. And when you look at the theme of that conference, accelerated.
Now before we actually touch on that, because I'm going to ask you a question on that particularly.
Yeah.
Can we
so the very best way to address inflation is to create value value for everything you serve. And as far as banking is concerned, we have been creating value over the years, and we continue to do that. And like I said, bank, we must recollect that it doesn't operate in isolation. If, for example, a loan is, ours is to create credit and give out to the deficit units. If the deficit units, because of the macroeconomic policies, are finding it difficult to repay the fund, remember that it is only when the fund is refunded that we can create further credit. Okay. So on our own, we have been trying all we could to make sure that the system works. And over the years, you will realize that the level of the development that we have seen in the economy today is not connected with the pivotal role that bank had already played in the past. You look at a lot of the history of payment system being put in place within and outside the country. You look at the standard, training competence being built within the system. There are so numerous. And look at some of our major transactions, infrastructures we have in this country. In one way or the other, you see banks playing a pivotal role in them. Even the Dangote, the refinery we are talking about, most of these funds were sourced from
Okay, you have converged on Abuja to talk about accelerated and economic growth. What is the way to go?
The way to go, like I said, we know the current state. That's why we say we know the current stage. But our belief is that do we continue to talk without taking a step of a positive step? And that's why we are saying the ways to go is very simple. We have identified 4 key areas. One of the things that is affecting this economy today is one of the things that is going to come as a sub-team. The issue of Japa and Japada. That we want to see we want to educate the people about this issue and how we can use that phenomenon to even be beneficial to the economy. And we have said last year, we conducted the research, and we did mention that there is no way you can prevent somebody from traveling from one place to the other for his own career development, or to build more competence, and for even education, because traveling is part of education. But the fact still remains that if these people are leaving, do we have a substitute? And the bankers have sat down together. We have decided to build, a human retention capital, which has been donated by most of the banks, contributed immensely to this. And we want to build a state-of-the-art academy where people can easily be trained and replace those people that are going. Then it becomes a win-win situation. Win-win in the sense that those people travel abroad because of their affinity to home. Some of them will bring all this diaspora money into the system. Those people that are here too, we make them more employable and they will go into the system. So to me, it's a win-win. And this is one of the things we also want to discuss about in this something. When we are looking at the need, like I did mention, the second main sub-team is the issue of we are trying to make sure that we diversify the foreign exchange sources. The sources has always been monolithic. We want to make sure that we have diverse sources. When these diverse are caused, it will be able to augment the oil source. Then we are saying unlocking. There is need for try to unlock new possibilities in the area of AI and innovation, which is very critical, not only to the banking industry, but to the entire ecosystem. And lastly, we say there is need for us to reposition our financial system so that it can aid socio-economic development within the nation. And that is why you will find out that when the issue of recapitalization was raised, we supported it. We believe that will put our banks in a very advantageous position in being able to finance large transactions that will be able to help us and take care of our infrastructural inadequacies that is all over the place. Bad roads, no good network, no power supply, and things like that. We believe when these banks are there, these are the things that can aid development. And we are being intentional about this in this conference.
Okay, just briefly before I let you go, because we still have Babatunde to accommodate. How do you think, where's the role of bank in achieving the federal government's $1 trillion targeted economy or GDP?
I think it's very basic. Like I did mention, the primary duty of any bank is to serve is predicated on the principle of financial intermediation, trying to mobilize deposits from all the surplus sources and making sure that this money is used judiciously toward the deficit units. That is what brings about, development. And experience has taught us, even research has confirmed, that the velocity at which money moves from one person's hand to the other within the system aids development. If you give me very good salary and I have money to invest, I buy land or I buy something, it will promote the sales of whatever I'm buying. So you find out it's a chain. There is a value chain that is happening within the system. And the only link that makes this to be possible are banks. And that's why we have been supporting the government in the area of financial inclusion, so that those people in the rural areas, in the suburbs area, will also be, involved in what is going on at the federal level. And we believe that if this is sustained, for a very long time, and is being supported by all those infrastructures, the economy will improve, and all of us will be better for it. And that is why I did mention the other time that we are in very much support of recapitalization, because that will bring in more funds into the system, and we'll be able to create and finance large transactions.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Pius Deji Olanrewaju. It's been a pleasure having you on the program. Beautiful. Well, it's good to have you. Well, it's good to have you rejoin us. We still have Babatunde Oladipo. Well, Babatunde Oladipo, you've been following the conversation. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing Nigeria's economic growth, and how can they be addressed in the short and long term?
I think the major issue, just as it has been said, is corruption. Because if you look at the indices that determine the economic growth, economic development, maybe interest rate, that is the lending rate from CBN to commercial banks. When you look at inflation rate, which CBN controls, either in one way or the other, or maybe you look at foreign exchange rates, you look at employment rates, some of these are the critical items. These are the critical indices that determine, and we have put many of them in practice, but because of corruption, many of them have been stampeded. For instance, CBN has the duty, a sole duty to control inflation. And how do they do this? By ensuring either they pull out money from the economy. If they discover that there is so much money in the economy, that is the bigger money pursuing small things, small commodity.
But the issue now is we seem to have a lot of money in circulation, but it's not in most banks' vaults. That's the issue.
Now, it's still part of why people holding physical cash. Because with the fintechs, a lot of people are embracing, financial inclusion is increasing. People in villages can now transact. A lot of development is happening. People are moving with, you are traveling from one place to the other. You don't need to carry cash, because at any point you can stop and get money. Maybe from POS, either from transfer, OPay, Money Point, even some of the banks now, they also have some platform that run fintechs to make sure that people are having access to financial transactions in their bedroom, anywhere. So this inclusion is working, but the challenge is corruption. If you ask me, why are you pulling out money from the economy? Why are you pulling out money from the bank? They may not be able to give you reasons.
Okay, I believe you must be following development about the intention or the process, the decision that the federal government is trying to see how they can review VAT, that's value-added tax. Now, how can government balance the need to increase revenue through taxation with the need to alleviate the burden on citizens amid fears of rising inflation? Now,
you understand the primary purposes for I'm talking of a taxation, is to generate fund. It could also be for the allocation of fund. It could also be redistribution of income. For instance, VAT is presently 7.5%. 7.5%. Now, the proposal or the intention of government is to increase it to 10. When they increase it to 10, it will now be for non-essential goods. That is goods that are like premium goods, like luxury goods, which will make government to get more money from the rich.
So you are in support of that?
No, I want the rich to be taxed. That would be good, because we need to get it's a redistribution of income.
So we
need to get more money from the rich.
To luxury goods, right?
Luxury goods, premium goods, some of the goods that are not essential, like food. The problem of the poor man is the food. When you give a poor, when they have food, every other issue they can solve it. So this is, if it is properly managed, it makes a lot of sense. But I'm talking of premium goods. That is luxury good, not just for general essential like education, like like we're talking of food, we're talking of shelter, all those that are essentials. Even if they bring it to zero, it's as good. It's very good. It's a way of alleviating.
Now how can Nigeria leverage its economic growth to improve its global competitiveness and attract foreign investment despite the current challenges?
You know, one of the way to, just like profs talk about, when you are a productive economy, you are producing, you are processing, you are exporting, definitely you are going to receive a lot of foreign exchange proceeds. And then you will get so much to balance up. Even just like Japa or Jakpada, if people travel to Germany, travel to Canada and go everywhere, and they are repatriating dollars, repatriating pound sterling to the country, it will still benefit the country. So we need to give them confidence. Even if they travel, it's not a problem. You can't stop people from traveling because it's what they desire. But if they are succeeding and they have that love for their country, because everybody has love for their country, let the money come back.
Okay. That's your own suggestion on the best way to attract investment.
Yes.
Okay.
When there is a trust in the system, when they believe that whatever the government is getting, it will use it for that purpose. And that is where government need to come in. To make sure that the security, everything is going smoothly, infrastructural development, things are going well. The moment this confidence is built, this country is a prosperous country. We will naturally prosper. I'm telling you. When people travel to anywhere, they will repatriate their fund and they will develop. We have affinity for this Nigeria. Every tribe.
Okay. Just briefly before I let you go, looking ahead, what are your predictions for Nigeria's economic outlook in the next 6 or 12 months?
Yes, I want to say this with caution because the fuel price just moved from 568 officially to 855. So that will put a kind of energy poverty to many people. A lot of, this fuel of a thing is a denominator to most of the activities of Nigeria. So possibility of challenges in the next few weeks, few months will be there. But over time, as things start getting stabilized, maybe in the next 1 year or thereabout, things will start getting stabilized. But we still need government sincerity, government purposeful leadership, so that things, and we can see that the government are making effort to make sure the Nigeria prosper. But we need to do this with every sense of commitment.
Okay, beautiful. Well, thank you very much, Babatunde Oladipo. It's just a pleasure having you. It's been a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you.